There used to be an artificial intelligence bot called the AlphaGo. It was a powerful AI and won World Computing Chess Championship, shocking the world. All AI can be improved through machine learning, which simulates the learning functions of the human brain. They continue to improve based on the information they learn. AI will be very diverse in the future. Today, teachers thought we'll introduce some basic AI concepts. Yes, you guessed it. The product we are going to introduce today is 1206 AI Educational Blocks. This is part of the Learning Lab series and contains 147 components. This set is suitable for children 10 or older. But if you're not 10 yet, don't worry. As long as you're accompanied by an adult, you can still play with this set. There's a unique component in this set, the Gigo AI Control Box. The control box is different from other available AI tools. The main difference is this is a true AI. What does that mean? Well, you can take pictures of objects around you and then use them to train the AI so that it can recognize new and different items. Another feature of this set is that it can be used with Web AI Blockly, which is a web page used to program it. Web AI has many functions, such as variables, logic gates, math solvers, arrays, and more. There are even some advanced functions, which can be imported to the Web AI Blockly interface, then sent to the control box as a program. This means we have lots of functions to explore, and there are more than 20 models we can make. So that's the box. Let's open it up and have a look inside together. These are all the 1206 components, and you can see that in addition to our usual C-series parts, there are also some parts like tires, light bulbs, body plates, and a few other bits and pieces. There are two really unique pieces with the set, which are 18650 lithium battery holder Gigo AI control box. First, the Gigo AI control box. You can see it has a camera on top here, and that can rotate 180 degrees. It has 5 million pixels. It'll need that resolution to take clear photos. It needs good quality photos to be able to identify objects accurately. There are 4 holes on this control box, and these 4 holes are for the microphone. If we need to use the speech recognition function, then the control box will need access to the microphones. Over here on the left side is the PC connection port. As long as we have a USB cable, we can connect the AI control box to a computer. Doing that, you can import programs or enable other functions on the control box. The lower slot is the micro SD card slot. So this SD card slot is useful because it allows you to expand the storage of the device. When we use the speech recognition function later, we'll need that extra space to store the voice messages. So this is the SD card slot. Now going back to the front again. In the middle we have our 2.3-inch LCD screen. This screen displays status updates about the AI control box, or shows camera images after they are taken. It also displays images that are being recognized by the device. Next are the L and R buttons. These 2 buttons can control some basic settings, or you can use them in case where you have to configure them in some code. Right, that's the front all finished. Now let's look at the back. There are 4 bars on the back side. These 4 bars are the speakers. Any sound made by the AI control box comes from here. You can also see that there are 8 little holes next to them. These 8 holes are the Gigo ports. The motors or force sensors are connected to these ports. In the middle are the DuPont ports. This DuPont port can be used with the 180-degree servo motor or the line tracking sensor. If you have an external sensor and want to connect it, you can use these DuPont ports. Finally, let's have a look at a hole on the bottom side of the device. There's also an external power input. This power input can be used to connect the Gigo lithium battery holder. This ensures there is a stable power supply for the control box. For safety, the cover of the lithium battery holder cannot be opened easily. To open it, we'll need a coin or something similar. Here you can see there's a coin slot. We just put the edge of the coin into the little groove. Twist clockwise and it unlocks. When you hear the click, then that means the cover can be opened. Now, if we examine the grooves here, there's a small recess. If we press on the recess area, the cover pops open easily. Then you can insert, remove, or change the lithium battery. Remember to always check the polarity of the battery when you insert a new one. Then, as you replace the cover, listen for a click. That'll make sure the coin slot has returned to its original position. Once it's locked, then the assembly is complete. Each set has a full color manual. There are detailed descriptions, real-life applications of the scientific principles, and a detailed assembly steps. As long as you follow the steps in order, assembling any of the 20 models should be easy for you. Now, let's look at a second lesson in the manual. This one is the AI sorter. Let's put it all together and run the test with the 1206 AI educational blocks. Now, we've finished the model. We can tinker with some basic settings. Teacher Crocodile did an excellent introduction to this before. Let's review Teacher Crocodile's basic settings. We have to connect the main control box first. For this, we'll need to connect to the Wi-Fi. We need a Wi-Fi connection to send the files back and forth. Modify or edit commands. We can go to More here to enter the Wi-Fi settings. Once we're in, set up your Wi-Fi network password details. You'll need all the Wi-Fi device names and passwords. Then I go to Settings. This gives me a QR code. This code is for the main control box to scan. Then I connect the control box to the power supply. When you're connecting for the first time, use this right-hand button, and you'll get into QR scanning mode. After entering scanning mode, just let it find the code. Once the device spots the code, it'll enter the Wi-Fi settings. You can see that it has grabbed an SSID here. Make sure it's the same as your network information. Okay, let's continue. After setting up the Wi-Fi connectivity, the main page looks like this. There's a version AI platform, and if you want to start using it right away, you can log in with a Gmail account or stop and register a separate account. Then it appears on the Vision AI platform. Language settings are in the upper right-hand corner. Let's change it back. This is a section for model training and image classification. While training, we can find 2 parts to do a demonstration. After you've seen these 2 parts, then I'd like you to do a short assignment. So, this demonstration will be different from the assignment, but it'll help and you can use some parts of it. Click the Add button to add models. I'm using 2 cubes of different colors. I create a category. type red here. After creating a new category, I can upload images directly, or a better way might be to use Web AI directly. On Web AI, it will ask you for a device ID. If you don't know the ID, you'll have to unplug the power cable and restart the control box. When it has restarted, it'll show the device ID when it turns on. This one's 60C3DE. Okay, put that here. 60C3DE. Once that's done, you get the option to rotate the camera. Either way is fine. You should probably turn it on to take better pictures. If you finish the settings, you can click the Create Category button. Then it'll send the instruction to the control box. It sends the commands out, and now we can use it to take photos. Here I can rotate the camera. The lens appears here. And this is where we train the model. The model I just trained is this one here, red. Now take photos here. Because identification requires different angles of the model, remember that we have to take at least 20 photos of each thing. This is the number of photos you've taken so far. Press here and it will start taking pictures. Now, do the front side in the center and a little to the left. Now a bit to the right, the top, and the button. A few from upper left, some on upper right, now the lower left, and lower right. After 20 photos, they will upload automatically. Now, go back to the main screen. You can see that we have built the first model. After creating the red model, the screen will show that the upload is complete. Next, let's create another category. We have to do the same thing again. The things we want to classify are trained. Next, click Model here. To add a model, set the model name as Test. After that, over here, we use Select Category. We choose from the categories. Now, here, the order matters. Check these three. Then create a model. After creating the model, it is training. When the training is complete, let's take a look at what we've done. Remember, the category names are like this, and the sorting order matters. The sorting order affects classification. Click. We click to download a model, and it can be recorded in the main control box. If you train something different every time, you must download the correct model to use. Here you can download the model and enter the device ID. 60C3DE. After that, click here to download the model. It'll send the commands. Then, if you look at the main control box, it'll do a quick restart. Then, download the model. When downloading, you must wait until it gets to 100%. If you have more pictures or categories, it will take longer. Once it's downloaded completely, we can enter any data we like when we write the program. Thank you, Teacher Crocodile, for that great explanation. Well done to all of you watching for completing the basic settings. Now, let's get programming. On the Web AI Blockly page, you can see some basic functions such as logic, loop, math, text, functions, and other basic program functions. Of course, there are some advanced features too, like image classification, object tracking, and speech recognition. If you want to use some extensions you can add to your projects, please click the expansion button here. If you do that, then choose 1206 AI Educational Blocks. You'll see that a new section has been added. When you check the lower left corner after that, there's a new Gigo function. So, click on that and you'll see that there are some blocks specially designed for Gigo components. If you can't find what you're looking for, you can click Gigo to see if there is a corresponding program here. Now, we'll pull out the block we want to use. Like this. Then, configure a complete program. This one will be for the AI sorter, because we just want to test the model quickly. Let's use something pre-configured, so hit Open and import a preset program. Like this. This was the one we wrote before. We will send our program to the Gigo AI control box. Hit Execute in the upper right hand corner. Then we can finish the settings. If it is the first time to use the Web AI Blockly, it is recommended to upgrade the firmware of the Gigo AI control box to the latest version. Click More, download Gigo Install to upgrade. After upgrading, you can use latest Web AI Blockly function. Now, let's get testing. Here are some of the functions of the AI sorter. These are the red and yellow cubes we took images of. And here are the settings. When it detects red cubes, you can see that the AI sorter will send those to the right. If it detects yellow cubes, it will send them to the left. This is an example of image recognition. Now, let's test it. Okay, it sorts to the right. Let's try some yellow cubes. Good, it sorts to the left. Okay, let's take a break, and you can enjoy this short video showing some of the awesome models. This was the unboxing video for the 1206 AI Educational Block Set. Don't forget to subscribe if you like this video. I'm Teacher Sloth, and I look forward to seeing you again next time. Bye for now.